Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to WatchYouWant.com. What you're looking at may be the essential Rolex Submariner. Why? Simply because it has no date. And let me say, the no date sub is simple, classical, beautifully proportioned. That bilateral symmetry right down the middle makes it a very formal, very elemental expression of that original 1953 prototype that debuted at the Basel Watch and Jewelry Show. Now, Rolex arguably invented the modern dive watch with that first Submariner, and what you see here, the reference 11060, is a direct descendant of that famous progenitor of all modern sport watches. Now, the no-date sub, as it's called, remains in the catalog and has continuously since 1953 because it is so, well, in a word, handsome. Well, we've gotten used to seeing that Cyclops eye magnifier of the Rolex sub-date winking back at us. The fact is that this is a 40 millimeter watch, not a 44 like the Rolex Deep Sea, not a 45 plus like the new Hublot Big Bangs, or a 44 like the Audemars Royal Oak Offshores. The bottom line is there's only so much geography here, and Rolex makes good use of it by not cluttering the no-date sub with the Cyclops eye and the date window. You get symmetry, an index on each side, nice horizontal emphasis, really opens up the dial that I think is a little bit crowded by the date. Now, of course, this is the watch of James Bond. If you want to look at the Submariner lineage and trace it back to Sean Connery and Roger Moore, the real heyday of 007, they wore the no-date subs. Even after the 1680 became available, Roger Moore continued to wear the 5513. Why? Because it just looks the business. And if you're going to be on camera, that's all that counts. But because this is a contemporary Rolex Submariner no date, all of the modern refinements that you expect in a contemporary Rolex are there. Now, it used to be that the no date was something of an entry-level Submariner, didn't have a chronometer certified movement, the finish might have been a little bit rougher, it wasn't quite up to the movement standard of the latest date Submariners. That is no longer the case. Everything you get in the date Submariner, you get here in the no-date sub. The 114060 starts with the signature Submariner unidirectional rotating diver's bezel. Only here, since 2012, it's made of ceramic. Now, the Cerachrom material, which is proprietary to Rolex, of their own design and fabrication, protects the bezel from getting that scratched and scuffed look that you associate with old dive watches. Some people think it looks cool, think it looks patina, butch. Personally, I think it just looks ugly. I prefer my watches to look new as long as possible. And so, with the Cerachrom material, which features white gold that's filled into the little wells that Rolex etches in the material, so that's where you get that contrast. With the Cerachrom material, your bezel is now as scratch-proof as a sapphire crystal. So if you know about sapphire crystals in contemporary luxury watches, how they keep your crystal looking scratch-free and new, Cerachrom does that for your bezel. It's a great effect, it's a fantastic technology, and this particular blend is exclusive to Rolex, developed in-house, just like their steel. This Rolex no-date sub features Rolex's own 904L steel. Now, what it is and why it's important is a more scratch, tarnish, and corrosion-resistant steel than the 316 grade used by most of the industry. Rolex has its own foundry. It creates, as well as its own ceramic, it creates its own metals, precious and steel alike. So you're getting a very highly integrated, highly manufactured watchmaking product from Rolex. They make the movement, they make the case, they even make the basic materials. And inside that case, you're getting a Rolex caliber 3130, I believe, 3130 chronometer. And that's critical because it used to be that the no-date sub had a rugged movement, but not a chronometer grade movement. Now that's changed with this generation. They're chronometer certified, so you get that same COSC testing, third-party attesting as to the accuracy of the watch under different positions, different temperatures over a 2-week period, so Rolex includes that added value with the no-date sub. Again, you're just doing without that date, and personally I think you're getting a much more attractive watch. Now, the clasp itself and the bracelet, now all solid links, including solid end links with this generation, very durable, feels like it was milled out of a single piece, and in fact the clasp is a milled piece. Very rugged, not like those old stamped bits, including the ones on the James Bond subs. Heck, Bond would have killed, after all he's licensed to, for this kind of Submariner. This much luxury content. As solid as a Cadillac, it also includes a sliding length adjuster. Right here, you can actually adjust the length of this clasp without a tool. You can gain about 20 millimeters of incremental sliding adjustment, fore and aft, just like that, with this Rolex no-date sub. Very solid clasp. Once it's shut, you don't have to worry about it moving. Very crisp, closes, stays shut. So not only can you adjust the watch to fit over a diving suit, a skin suit, if your wrist swells during a workout, but if you live in cold climates, you can actually adjust it to fit over a winter coat so you can wear your watch externally when it's cold. That's a nice little bit of added value that you get from this handsome 114060 no-date sub. But it does get better. Here's the thing. This watch comes with everything you would expect to receive at a Rolex authorized dealer. Boxes, papers, hang tag, polishing cloth, user manual, service booklet, everything including a Rolex factory warranty. Purchased in December 2013, this watch retains warranty through December of 2015. All you're not getting is the authorized dealer markup. So check out this Rolex 114060 no-date Submariner on our website, watchyouwant.com. We are the authority in luxury pre-owned watches. Check out this sub and our entire collection. You just may find the watch you want.